This is going to be a process video for the 52 weeks of 52 favorite everyday life photos hop. And then obviously I know this is March, but I've been doing a follow a sketch February that's done by Sandy. She's the skate goddess. And this is the layout or the sketch that I'm going to be doing. And that sketch is designed by Julie Bonner. And it was day number 4 in the Follow the Sketch series. So I, off camera, I decided to do 2 different circles. I cut them in half, and it was one of them, which is going to be the bottom circle that you see is the 4.5, and then the top one is 6.5 for the circumference. And let's see here. The kit that I am using is the November 2023 collection. Now, this is a non-DT flavors of the month for the scrap room. And it's Bella Boulevard on this fall day. It's the main kit and the embellishment kit. And I've never used it, so I think I used all of it up here, and I barely have enough left over, so I put it with some of my other fall stashes to make it work because I just don't have anything. So I 1000% follow this to the T. I think the only thing I didn't do is I think my title's in a different section. So as you can tell, I've got my new glass mat, I've got my new phone, so the color tones and all of that stuff is so much different. It's just crazy how much, buying a new phone and just, updating stuff because, things happen and you just have to, sometimes it just is what it is. So what I'm doing here is I decided to use the scallop edges that they came on the sticker pack because I ended up getting the 12x12 for that. And so I am using that as the scallops. And then I'm just pretty much going through and just doing everything that I've done before. And so I cut these in half and it's out of the same paper. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. It's out of the same paper. Now, if you really wanted to, I know that they show different sizes. You could probably just use the same circle and cut them in half. Now, this is of my daughter. This is going into her 6th grade year it's the fall. I know it's her 6th grade year. Has to be into the fall of it. And this is the annual fishing derby that Fort Gordon does. And my husband and Kaylin does it as many times as they can throughout the year. Typically they do 2, one in September, one in June. And they try to do both as long as Kaylin's soccer schedule and our summer schedule matches up. So this is her catch. She will take the fish off the hooks. She will bait the fish or bait the hooks. She does it all. And when you are doing these tournaments, the adults cannot help except for unless the kid's going to fall into the river or something like that or the lake, depending on where they're at. And they do stock the ponds, and we have certain ponds that we have to be at where they stocked it, because out at Fort Gordon we do have a bunch of ponds, and then there's certain ones that they can be at to do. And so they stock it so that the children can at least try to catch some fish and whatnot. And we are typically a catch and release type individuals. Now, Josh will bring them home if they're big enough, but for the most part, we do catch and release. So we'll catch them and we'll pick the biggest one, and then they go and see if theirs is the biggest one or not, and then go from there. And then he always makes sure to take photos for me, because a lot of times I just let them go themselves and I stay home and do nothing. Or I am working at the exchange, and then they'll come by afterwards and see me and all that. So there's that. Now, as the only thing that you can see is that I do change where the title's at. I put the title up on top instead, and then I do do what a day. I do have that. So I say beautiful and then what a day. Those are the two things that I do a little bit differently, but outside of that, it's pretty much very consistent with what it is. All right, so now I'm just going to go through and go through all the little embellishment pieces and whatnot that I have. And I know that apple cider has nothing to do with this layout, but it's in the fall, so who cares? The color matches. That's my whole game of the thing, is the color matches. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So make sure you go check out, everybody. The playlist is down below. We do not do direct links, so click on the playlist. And if you hit the filter button and put what has been uploaded, the newest upload, that will get you all of the ones that are due for this week or this particular day. So yeah, make sure you do all the YouTube-y stuff. I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. I am part of one design team. I try to upload between 2 to 3 times a week. My design team layouts and just regular hops. And I'm just kind of like I said, I'm just kind of going through and figuring out where I want to put stuff, what I want to do, where I want to put it, and go from there. I can't believe we're into March. I just can't believe this. This is just crazy. And this is the second week of March to boot that too, right? I do put that title that's called Time Spent Together, that little sticker there. And then I do cut this little like puffy cloud, and I cut it in half so it looks like I've got two different clouds going in different spots. And then all those little bits that you see, I have been getting questions about these little plastic pieces. They're from the scrapbook.com. It's their new, storage collection things that they have. And then I did get this little, strip of the enamel dots that are from Bella Boulevard. And it's got hearts, triangles, and I think dots. So you're seeing me place them in certain spots. So the hearts ended up being on the tree. The dots ended up being in the middle of the flowers. And then the triangles I just placed in certain little directions. One of them is pointing in one direction, the other one is pointing in the other. And then I decided, well, since I didn't have enough enamel dots, or I didn't feel like it, I ended up going in with a company that needs to open back up, I swear. Jody, if you're listening, we need your sequins back. Spiegelmom Scraps Sequence Mix Huddle Up. And it matches all of the autumn dates. So if you have any of her sequence mixes, she's always done an amazing job. And so Huddle Up is a really good fall collection one mix for any of the fall or autumn collections. And I'm just placing them there. And then I lastly come in with the Distress Spritz, the antique linen. I do come in with that as well. And that is the last thing I do. And then that is pretty much it. So I'm just kind of going through and figuring out where else I would like to put them. I tried to put the sequence mix on the tree and then the cloud to make that look a little bit of pizzazz. And then that is it. I'm using a jewel picker. Just go to Amazon and they come in these little boxes like this. You get 2. And I think I got 2 packs of 2. So I got 4. I got 2 for when I go scrapbooking or to scrapbooking retreat. So I don't have to remember these. And then I've got 2 here at home. And then here is the splatters. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day. I hope that you guys are all staying safe. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
You know me up on the highways and the low, and down in the valleys deep with snow. You know me. You've known me. You've seen my triumphs and my shame, the rushing of wind and bird,